welcome to Bluffton Center for Entrepreneurs Spotlight on Putnam County entrepreneurs. I am really pleased this evening to have a whole panel of guests. I have Amy Sealts from the Putnam County, sorry, let me make sure I get this right, Community Improvement Corporation, Putnam County Community Improvement Corporation, Andy Beaston with Titan Trolley, and Tom Giesken and Sandy Sue, I'm gonna blank out on Sandy Sue's last name, Forman, from Well Grounded Cafe. So I am really looking forward to our discussion. We're gonna talk for about a half an hour about what's new in Putnam County. And then we will, we have guests behind the scenes. We'll take questions from them afterwards. And so I'm gonna go ahead and get things rolling. So Amy, let's talk first about how Putnam County helps its entrepreneurs. All right, so just unmute your microphone. There we go.
Paula.
Hi. So your organization really has a big picture approach to this. And can you introduce us to how you can help entrepreneurs get off the starting blocks?
Sure, I sure can. So part of our mission at the Putnam County Community Improvement Corporation, we're actually a nonprofit economic development corporation, and we have a board of individuals from around Putnam County who are kind of our eyes and ears out for business happening in their community. And really what our focus is being intentional and being strategic about the way and that we improve our communities through entrepreneurs and business development. Sometimes I think when people think about development, they think it's only for maybe the large employers or the industrial employers, but really we can try to help and try to have resources for anybody. We've helped even, businesses that have just one or two employees get off the ground, or somebody that has an idea, but they need, they need investors, or they need a building, or they just want to rent someplace to get started. So we have a lot of different ways that we help people. Our goal is to try to not only help the businesses retain the businesses that are here, but help people start new ones, and also attract businesses that bring jobs and capital investment to the community. So we're always looking for ways to increase the tax base for the local economy. Some of the things that we do to help some of our businesses are helping them with workforce solutions that they have. We can tie them into education and training resources and funds that are available in Putnam County. We have a lot of partners that help us do that. We can also help them with access to utility providers, land, sites, and buildings. And what we try to do is we try to help them think about the diversification of their business and maybe what is in that local community or what is in the county. We don't do specific business planning. That's when we refer to people like the Bluffton Center for Entrepreneurs, the Small Business Development Center, or the Small Business Administration in Lima. So we don't do real intricate business planning with people, but we help them with some of their other resources. As far as sites and buildings, we maintain a really robust database of all the different greenfield sites and brownfield sites, which would be sites that maybe need some rehabilitation or revitalization, and also industrial and commercial buildings and sites. And so we stay on top of facilities that are vacant, facilities that are for lease, for sale. When someone new is trying to, begin a business, we can help them get pointed in the right direction. A lot of times, surprisingly, maybe the business owner doesn't want to be known. So we can be maybe a neutral party, and we can reach out for businesses on behalf of them and kind of do a little bit of legwork for them. Another way that we can help entrepreneurs is thinking about everything that they'll need before a project starts, because as you know, a lot goes in. I'm preaching to the crowd here, but there's a lot of moving pieces to the puzzle before anybody ever says, hey, I'm going to have a project. So there's things like water and sewer and power and gas and zoning and incentives. And some of the incentives that we can offer for Putnam County are community reinvestment agreements, which provides businesses with a tax break on their property taxes, depending on their investment in their building or their facility. And also we can do something called tax increment financing. So if a business needs to come in and maybe they're going to come into an area where there is infrastructure that's needed, like roads or water lines or all those type of things, we create agreements between them and the community that they're locating in, that the community can capture and redirect some of the new property taxes generated from their project to help pay for that. So sometimes, you know, maybe if they have the whole capital stack ready for their project, but there's that one missing piece, we can sometimes redirect some of the taxes generated from that business to help pay for that. And sometimes that's the missing piece of the puzzle.
I'm really glad that you made that point about timing, because I don't think it's ever too early to build that relationship. Sometimes people will come to talk to us, and I mean, they're way far down down the lane, and it's kind of like, it's not if, it's when.
Yeah, for sure.
So, right.
A lot of times in economic development, we say projects are more like a marathon and not a sprint. And so we're usually like, we're in the training part way early. we're way early in the process. So sometimes people come to us and they'll say, in 1 year or 3 years, I want to do X. You know, what do I need to be thinking about now? And we can kind of help them position themselves, you know, in what the things that they need to think about and lead up till then. I actually think, Tom Giesken, I think the first time you told me you were going to open a coffee shop, I think I was still at the chamber. I'm pretty sure. So that was 3.5 years ago already. So see, it's a marathon, right? So we're always in that background trying to connect people. We had a couple of young gentlemen from Putnam County who are going to be opening a new business in the next couple of years. And we've already been working with them for over a year. And we're just connecting them to, it's an agricultural based business. So we're connecting them to people at Ohio State at Worcester, and people at, you know, the Center for Food Technology in Bowling Green, and just trying to work it any which way, you know, that we can possibly help them tap into resources either locally or regionally, or even if it's a large project, even at the state level. So we're kind of that, I always tell myself we're kind of like special ops. We're like in the background helping, nobody really knows kind of that we're here. And then all of a sudden one day there's a project and everybody's like, oh, that's cool. And we're like, yep, that's cool. We've been working on that for years and it's finally going to come to fruition. But all these people that you see on the screen here, they're the brave ones that actually, you know, do the hard work and take the risk. So without them, we wouldn't exist.
So how can people tune in to what your organization is doing, and how can they get in touch with you?
We have a website, we have social media pages. Our doors are always open. People can stop in anytime. We do a lot of teleconferences right now. Something that I do want to share that we're really excited about is we haven't played a lot in the realm of workforce solutions, but as we know, no matter what size your business is, it's a need. And so we're part of a committee right now that's working on a project called Build Putnam, and it's a new workforce web portal where businesses can create profiles and post jobs, and then adult workers and high schools can post jobs, and there's algorithms in the background that will connect them. So it's kind of like a little, I call it like kind of like a little mini monster.com for Putnam County, and we're really excited about that. we're building the site out now, not me personally. That's why you find good, you surround yourself with good people, right? So someone else is building it out for us right now, and it should be operational, we think, in about 60 days or so. So we're pretty excited about that. It's kind of a new way to go thinking about workforce or about economic development, because the people that are here need the talent, to fill those jobs. So we can't grow businesses and entrepreneurs unless we can make sure that we have the skill to fill those positions.
That is great to have a geographically focused service like that. I wear two hats. I work for the BCE and I also work for the Bluffton Chamber, and I get those calls. Do you have? So I'm gonna need to check that out.
Cool. Awesome.
All right. So I thank you so much, Amy.
Thanks, Paula.
And I'm going to make the transition now to talking about Titan Trolley with Andy Beaston. This is a really fantastic new style business. These trolleys are pedal bars, and I'm not going to go into the details. I'm going to let Andy do that. But if you haven't heard about this before, I think this is a really great introduction. So welcome, Andy. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. So tell us your pedal bar story.
Well, it's interesting, during COVID last year, my niece had a birthday party in Tiffin, and there's a pedal bar in Tiffin, and obviously it wasn't operational because of COVID, but they were going around. You could request them or reserve them to come to your house, and they would play music for kids' birthdays or whatever to try to raise some money for a local person that had cancer. So I didn't know anything about it. We got to my brother's house, and here comes this big orange pedal thing rolling up playing music, and I'm like, what is this? And so they kind of described it to me, and I thought, man, if this thing can survive in Seneca County, what can it do in Putnam County? So that kind of started the gears rolling, and actually Amy's probably the first person I talked to about it after my wife. And I will say, without Amy, I wouldn't probably be here opening a business today. So I will give her props to that. So I just, from that day, I started researching the viability of it. Where can I get one of these? What's the liability? The insurance is the costs. And that was last March. And here, about a week from today, we're going to take possession of our bike. So it was kind of a long road to get here, but we're pretty excited about the possibilities here in Putnam County.
Okay, so I can edit in for our YouTube viewers a picture of your pedal bar. You have a new post on Facebook
Yep.
of it being almost complete. But can we describe for folks exactly how big, how many, everybody on the pedal bar has pedals, but so take us through the basics.
So basically, it's about 20 feet long and about 7 feet wide. So it's pretty big. There's 12 bicycle seats, and they're true bicycle seats. Now, I did try to get the most comfortable ones possible, and I did sit on them yesterday. They're pretty comfortable. So, and then there's a bench on the back that can fit 2 people. So it seats 14 people. Now, there's only 8 spots that pedal. So obviously the bench doesn't pedal, and then there's 2 bike seats that are over the rear wheels that don't have pedals because there's not room. And one of the things that people said that we heard early on were, oh, I did that in this place or that place, and man, that's a lot of work. So we actually, the company we partnered with, Sarka Metals out of Tiffin, basically redesigned the entire bike, where most of these bikes, they are, when you pedal, it makes the bike go. Like there's no, like that's it. So they decided, and what that creates is when you're pedaling and the driver hits the brakes, all of a sudden your pedals stop, and you have an issue with broken chains, broken pedals, broken this, a lot of issues. So what they decided was, let's add in a generator and an electric motor so that when you pedal, one, there's no resistance. Because if you're pedaling up a hill and I'm powering the bike, it's going to be tough and it's going to be hard on my legs. Whereas if I pedal now with mine, there's no resistance. It powers a generator that powers a battery pack that powers an electric motor, and that's how the bike moves. So we like to say it's not a workout, unlike some others, which was a big sale for us because we want people to have fun, not be sweaty.
And then tell us about the bar portion, the beverage portion.
So basically, at every seat, there will be a bar directly in front of you. There's one on each side of the bar, and then there's a walk space in between for the driver to get through. But every person's spot will have a cup holder, so you don't have to worry about spilling it or things falling off. But the state of Ohio says you can have 36 ounces of beer or 18 ounces of wine per person on the bike at any time. Now, that doesn't mean that, okay, I got on the bike and I drank my 36 ounces of beer and now I have to sit here for the next hour and a half. We can get more. Like, so when you drink some, we can replace those. So that was one of the questions we had early on. Like, what am I going to do for the last hour and a half when I'm done with my 3 beers? So we can stop at carryouts. You know, restaurants and bars have carryouts available. And we've actually partnered with a lot of local restaurants, and we're in the process of partnering with Tom for a little side project. So as long as we stay under those limits, we'll be fine. And another thing is there's no glass allowed on it and no hard liquor. So just wine and beer.
And what communities are you going to serve?
So right now we are in Ottawa. We're technically, we can go anywhere. There's nothing that says I could go to Bluffton tomorrow and there's nothing illegal about it. There's no Ohio Revised Code that covers the state of Ohio. But one of the things we did early on to make sure that we didn't have issues is I went to the mayor of Ottawa, the council, and basically presented my idea before we went through with it, just to make sure there was no issues. And they actually passed an ordinance that protects both of us. Here's the rules we have to follow, which we were in agreement with. And actually Glandorf has their third reading on April 5th, I believe, is their final reading. And after that reading, we will be more legal in Glandorf. We're legal now, we'll just have their ordinance. So, but technically we can go anywhere, but if we were going to take it to a different city, we would want to make sure that the local officials were on board with it, because we're not, we don't want to cause any trouble.
And so where are you in the grand scheme of things? How close are you to unveiling this service?
So we actually have a booking a week from Saturday. So we're ready to get started. We have to take possession of the bike. We're hoping next Wednesday. I'll have some driver training that, so you're going to see it around Ottawa. If you're driving around, people got to figure out how to run it. And then we're tentatively planning a grand opening party on April 9th. So we will have a booking before that, and I'm checking the date to make sure I didn't just say that wrong, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, April 9th, it's a Friday. We're in the final stages of planning that out. So you're going to see it around town as early as next Wednesday. So as soon as I get it and can put the rest of the signage on it, we'll start driving it around town just to get used to it and let people see kind of what it is before it rolls out. But it's been great, the amount of bookings we've got already. I mean, it's been very successful. So we're excited, and if people want to ride it, I would get your booking in soon because it's filling up really quick.
Yeah, I was really interested to see all the options that you have. How can people learn more about Titan Trolley? Facebook, website, tell us about that.
Yeah, we have a Facebook page where we do a lot of our updates. Our Facebook page is Titan Trolley. That has a lot of our updates and kind of things that are going on. We actually have a giveaway going on right now, where if you go on and sign up or you like and share, we're giving away 3 $50 gift cards. So that's up there as of right now. But then we also have a website. It's titantrolley.org, where you can see all of our different bookings, the different packs we have. We have party packs, we have rentals, pretty much we're a fully customizable business. We have ideas on the sheet of what you can do, but if people have a different idea of what they want to do with it, call us, because like I said, we're fully customizable. Whatever you can dream of, we'll try to help make it a reality.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm really looking forward to seeing that bike in action. And I want our viewers to I want to encourage you to, follow Titan Trolley on Facebook. We'll also be posting the news that we hear and share pictures as well.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Andy. And now I'm going to talk with Tom Giesken and Sandy Sue Forman about Well Grounded Cafe. You can never have too much coffee. in your life? Is that, that's my motto.
That's a lot of people's model.
Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us. So Tom, tell me why I'm going to be driving to Ottawa from Bluffton for coffee.
Well, this is going to be one of those destination places. That's what we're trying to make it. We put a lot of money into this building, trying to really make it an attractive place. We've got a lot of compliments just on what people have seen so far. You know, there's going to be a place for a stage for entertainment in there. There's going to be a room for a conference room where people can rent out to maybe have food catered in, and hopefully obviously get their coffee there and their drinks and stuff that we can work with them in doing that. You know, most of the time that room will be a relaxation room. Will be a table, a round table with some couches and chairs, and where people can kind of be quiet back there. It's kind of be, if they want to be, they can be kind of sanctioned off away from the entertainment. If they want to, we've had some, I don't want to say older people, but we had some older people that would say, is there going to be a quiet room when the band's there? I'm like, yes, there will be. And, also it'll be open. It's got a fireplace in there. So we're really trying to make it a nice ambiance. And so we're really trying to, you know, cover a lot of things. And so, you know, we're putting a lot of money in the restrooms. The restrooms are really going to look really, really nice and be kind of be set apart for it. So, yeah, so it's just there's going to be more than just coffee there. Hopefully a lot of different things, and you know, with the Titan Trolley, is going to do some meeting there. They're going to start their tour there at the coffee shop, which is nice. Our family's my brother is a history major. I started off as a history major, love history, and actually engaged Andy's father-in-law and my brother and some other people to do some history of that corner and different things. And so, yeah, we're going to have a wall there for some history and some different things. So it's a lot of different stuff. We're all over the map.
Yes. So, you have had a great series of posts on Facebook. I've been following along since January, I think. But this is not your first business. How has it been being a business owner, an entrepreneur, and tackling an additional business and a new type of business?
Yeah. I have to refer to my wife for that one. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I've got a couple businesses, and then the crazy part, I started another business in the middle of this because something kind of came up, and I started an advertising agency as well here recently, and I've got a full-time gal down in Sydney, Ohio. I bought a digital billboard, and so of course I've got my billboard company, which is this right here, which is my main company, the main thing I do, and that's where really I started everything. And I've got my property developments. We own the building next door to the coffee shop as well, which we've renamed the Crossroads 226 building. And we're revamping we call it the third floor. It's really the second floor, which is an apartment up there. So it's been a busy, it's been a busy year. And, you know, the construction part's kind of my forte. I've done a lot of construction in the past. Amy knows we built a YMCA together. Amy was on my board when we did all that, and actually built the gym there myself one time. And so I've done a lot of construction outside of even those things and stuff. So it's got a little interesting lately. We've had some snags, but we've had some good victories too. I could go through some of those things, but it's coming along, and that's the main thing. We're making progress.
Excellent. So, Sandy Sue, I take it that you are going to be heading things up operations wise. Is that correct?
Right. Yeah.
And how close are you to making coffee and
We're getting real close. We've met with a bunch of vendors and
Actually, we made coffee today.
Actually, yes. I actually had a catering today.
Our first coffee
first
stop.
one. And I have other people asking for them, so I feel like drop-off caterings are going to be a big thing. We've hired a staff. And we're meeting with new vendors every week. There's a lot of exciting stuff. We've got a menu. We're working on prices. Tom and I had headaches by the time we were done. You know, price comparing and all that stuff. So, but everything from the milk to the, oh my gosh, to the food that you'll have behind the case and everything, every little part. And we're trying to incorporate as many small businesses as possible too.
Mhm.
And we're gonna have some fun names for these drinks. So
That's her. That's
watch out.
yeah. She's good at that stuff.
Fantastic. And so who's the punster?
That's me.
That's her.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's worked at the YMCA, and Aaron Baumgartner is the director there. He says they have a jar on the counter that's 50 cents for every pun that she says. She's got to throw 50 cents in the pun jar.
It's a good fundraiser.
I've enjoyed those a lot.
We're gonna have some fun T-shirts down the line.
And so I always hesitate to say, okay, and when is opening day? Because I know that that's a challenge. I was listening to an entrepreneur online the other day. She was giving advice and said, plan your timeline and then double it. So how true is that? And at what point should we, look to put something on our calendars?
Yeah, we had been saying April 15th for a while, but we really ran into some snags with our cabinets, and then just recently our our doors came in wrong. Which you think that doesn't sound like nothing, but if you can't put the doors in, the door jambs don't go in, which means you can't do the tile, which means they can't get the tile done, and you can't put the plumbing in. And so it's kind of really put a hold up right now. We're just trying to get. So I ran to Finley today just to get a door. I thought if we can get one door, then we can get the jams in and we can start getting tiling, and then we get the plumbing. So anyways, it's I would say, it's not April 15th anymore. It's probably going to be early May is be my guess. And once we start getting past a couple of these hurdles and things start moving again, we'll put something out there on Facebook and on our website, and get something more concrete. And I think we're pretty close to doing that. I think once we get this plumbing hooked up, we'll be able to put a hard and fast date. But I would say early May right now.
And I think that people really can't, if they haven't seen the building, I mean, you've done a thorough. What's left of the former building? I guess I should ask.
Yeah, we've taken walls out, and we've had Kali Veroff has been our general contractor, and they were with me when we built the YMCA gym, and those guys know their stuff. I mean, we took walls out and they put supports in, and it was like there was 2 walls we had to take out. I'm like, how are we going to do this? Because there's a big beam in there, and that they just, yeah, I don't know. It's they made those old buildings to last for a long time. The outer shells are just, they're really done well. And that's why we didn't tear it down. We actually had some discussion about tearing it down. It would have been more money, obviously, but can we make this work? And Technicon Design's been our architect on that. And they did a really good job of going in there and figuring what was existing walls, what was weight bearing walls, what can we do here? So that really, if you're a construction guy, like I got a lot of background in that makes your job easy when you got an architect that tells you this, this, and this and stuff. And then you're just getting bids and trying to keep things lined up and things coming down the pike. But there's not a whole lot left. There is one thing that was left over, and this is kind of the centerpiece of the coffee shop. Is my grandpa was kind of semi-famous in Northwest Ohio. He had a band and he had a bar here in Glandorf. It was called Pop's Tavern. Everybody called it was Pop Giesken, and it was Pop Giesken's band. And he didn't have an enemy. He was a very well-liked guy. And so anyways, like a couple weeks after I bought the coffee shop, the guy who I bought it from says, this bar came from your grandpa's bar in Glandorf. And I was like, no way. And so he says, yeah. And he explained how he got it from him and everything. So we've taken that, and it was pretty rough shape, but we've taken it and really dressed it up nice. And it's now the centerpiece that's going to be right in front of where the baristas are going to be doing the working, and people be able to sit there and watch TV. and really enjoy themselves. They're sitting at Pop Giesken's bar.
Fantastic. Well, you know, I was saying that this is a great day for a Zoom meeting. It is March 18th. It's been pouring rain all day, right?
Yes.
I am really, really looking forward to coming and visiting your businesses in Ottawa, getting to know the county better. We are the Bluffton Center for Entrepreneurs, but I like to say, you know, we are partly in Allen County, partly in Hancock County. We are just next door to Putnam County and to Hardin County. And so thank you so much.
Hey, Paul, I'm going to introduce, this is my wife, Patty. She's
Oh,
the other
hi,
one
Patty.
here.
Hello.
She's rarely home, but she came home for a YMCA board meeting. So this is the third wheel here in the corporation. So.
And I just put my everyday clothes on. I was all dressed up just 2 minutes ago. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So
Sandy Sue's been awesome to work with through this venture. So it's been fun.
It has been fun. I agree with that. It's been a good time.
it is great to get to know your network. Before we wrap things up, any final tips or contact information that you would like to share?
We now have a phone number,
Yes.
right?
We do.
What is our new phone number? We have it on the
414
Facebook page.
It's
site, right?
419-969-2288.
Yes.
And we have a website also.
What was it?
WGC.
WGCottawa.com, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And we have Facebook and we have Instagram and all that
Yep.
stuff. So all the social media.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Amy, Andy, Sandy, Sue, Patty, Tom, I really appreciate you being here. For YouTube purposes, we're going to wrap up our recording, but for all of us who are here today, we're going to go ahead and take questions from our audience. Thank you so much from the Bluffton Center for Entrepreneurs, and I hope you'll join us again for more programming and more discussions with the Bluffton Center for Entrepreneurs.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Mhm.
See ya.